Welcome back. You're still watching Business Morning on Channels Television, and we're broadcasting live from Lagos, Nigeria. Today on the program, we're looking at Nigeria's automobile policy, and we're revisiting some of the issues and challenges that the licensed customs agents and freight forwarders actually have with it. And I have with me in the studios two gentlemen, Don Onyeka, he's a Vice President, Licensed Customs Agent, and Dr. Ikenna Nwosu, he's a member, Freight Forwarders Group of the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Both gentlemen are still here with me in the studio. Thank you so much for staying with me.
Thank you.
Now, we've talked about the issues. We've talked about the challenges. Let's look at possible solutions. Mr. Onyeka, I'll start with you.
Right. This is something that I have been saying that is very good for the nation, because we cannot continue the way we've been living life and expect a change. So I really doff my cap for the government, the way they have thought about it, using it as a way forward for us to position ourselves in this region of West Africa and other places. You know, it's good. But now what we need to do is this. Like I said earlier, that we are thinking, we are meeting with info, and we are putting up records and then information and delegates to government to present the way we feel this thing will be done, and it will help the nation, so as we can be able to harness the population, the large number of markets that are available, to be able to benefit in this policy of government. First and foremost, that we have said that for it to work, government should spread this in over years, like they have tried to do, but they should encourage the importers by, reducing the duty that are placed on these vehicles, because you can't imagine the kind of rules we have today. If you use these new vehicles, like the current vehicles like the Kia products and whatever you have that are new, they can't operate the Nigerian roads. So if you said this vehicle should be the one that should be utilized, you find that 2 days the cars are off the road. So we still need the old, the Tukumba vehicles, along with the one they want to bring, so as they will work together until we're able to achieve that policy, that position where we can announce, okay, uhuru.
But Mr. Onyeka, those cars that were importing, the Tokumba cars, are still going to come and be used on the same roads that we have these new cars on. So there really isn't any much difference. Are those ones, Tokumba cars, stronger than the brand new cars that will be manufactured here and used on the Nigerian roads?
Truly, yes. I will tell you the truth. If you have except for people that bring very old vehicles, but if I say 5 years vehicles, they are stronger than most of these new ones we have. I know that if you put Toyota side by side by these new products, these new vehicles that we have here, they don't compete, because the old vehicles, the Toyota products and then Honda products, they withstand the harshness of the road.
So, which is why, Dr. Nwosu, we should have such companies like like Toyota, like he mentioned, coming in and not just doing CKDs or SKDs, as the case may be. They should actually start the process from here.
Of manufacturing?
Yes.
Fine. Our steel industry, our iron industry is at rudimentary stage. Nobody is doing, we are doing basically flat steel rolling. So the necessary infrastructure for pure manufacturing is not in place. The power, yes, we've done the largest power sector privatization in the world recently, successful. So many post-privatization issues. So power is number one problem. Two, the raw material is not there yet. I mean, we have the mineral in the ground, but the steel rolling mills are not there. That's the second thing. 90%, 80 to 90% of what goes into the production of a car, a vehicle, which has about 2,000 parts, come from the iron and steel industry. So you find that the manufacturers or the assemblers are going to be importing over 80 to 90% of their inputs. So it still boils down to importation. So, way forward, in our humble opinion and studied opinion, research opinion, the president has done fantastically well to put this in place, but the implementation of that circular should be stepped down.
Totally
temporarily.
Steps down, okay.
Yes. And because of the multi-stakeholder complaints, which were not taken into consideration at the point of policy formulation, it is better to make sectoral engagement of stakeholders, and then you now bring the rest together. Because those in the maritime sector who bring in vessels are watching what's happening in the auto industry. Those who bring in aircraft are watching what's happening in the auto industry. The outcome of that document, it's here, the circular, is basically an overprotection of the domestic market. It needs to be balanced. So first thing is to step it down, get more stakeholder engagement, because much of the money that will go in will be foreign, so that we do not do a policy reversal like was done on textile and on rice. When the total ban was placed, and later you found that the parameters you will have used to measure whether supply will meet demand were not properly undertaken, and they had a reversal. It will not be good for our own image. So it's better to step it down now, not a forced step down. Step it down voluntarily and then go through it again. That's our recommendation. And in doing that, please let customs continue to follow what is legislated, because asking them to use the benchmark is not the right procedure. There is a legislation saying we were doing the Brussels definition of value before, which is market value. Now we want to use transaction value. That's how much you bought the car, the cost of buying it with other inputs, freight, blah, 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 add, you get the price. That's the custom procedure. So that, I think, is what we should do. Maintain that status quo over the next quarter, get the full stakeholder engagement, including the clearing agents, including the people who are manufacturers at the Navy, Ladipo, and the people who have been here over 100 years, from Anamco to Steya to all of them, PAN. Because the policy document on the internet says only 3 sectors were consulted: the vehicle assemblers, the offshore equipment manufacturers, and MDAs. So that's the government admission that the stakeholder engagement was limited. I think I'm done there.
Well, thank you so much, gentlemen, for sharing your thoughts with us. Of course, I'm sure we're going to have to revisit this issue again as soon as we can get a government side to it. But thank you so much for coming on the program, Dr. Onwosu and Mr. Onyeka. Well, I've been speaking with the Vice President, Licensed Customs Agent, Don Onyeka, and a member of the Freight Forwarders Group of the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Dr. Ikenna Onwosu, and we've been looking at the issues and challenges around the new automotive policy. But that's the program for today. Thank you so much for being a part of it. I'm Harriet Agbenyi.